Hello, fifth grade, and welcome to this week's edition of a Miss Jensen production. This week, we're going to be learning about point of view. Point of view. So let's get started with our warm-up. Look at your note sheet. You're going to be looking for your warm-up. All right, fifth grade. On the warm-up section of your notes sheet, you should see a Venn diagram. In this Venn diagram, you're going to compare and contrast what I'm seeing and what my turtle is seeing. So if you look at the picture that's on the screen now, it's a picture of me holding my turtle. On that Venn diagram, I want you to come up with some ideas. What am I seeing as I'm holding my turtle? What is my turtle seeing as I'm holding it? What are we both seeing? What's the same about what we are perceiving? All right, take a minute. And I want you to use the Venn diagram to compare and contrast what me and my turtle are seeing. Go. All right, now you're going to meet with a partner. I want you to compare notes with your partner, and anything that they have on their note sheet that you don't have, I want you to add to your note sheet. So you're comparing your answers with a partner. Go. What is point of view? Point of view is the position of the narrator or speaker in relation to the story that he or she is telling. When we used our Venn diagram to compare my turtle and me in that picture, we were identifying point of view. What was the position of the turtle in relation to the story? What was the position of Miss Jensen in relation to the story? Point of view is also an opinion, attitude, or judgment. So, in order to best display point of view, I thought I would tell you a story. Here's our story. Mr. Poole was trying to make copies at 8:25 in the morning. He knew it was his responsibility to have work ready for students, and he was hurrying to make sure he got his work done before students came up at 8:30. He was reading a paper on his way to the copier and, bam! Miss Jensen knocked into him. Mr. Poole swears he even saw her laugh as she walked away. All right, quick, after you heard this side of the story, what is Mr. Poole thinking? Record it on your note sheet. Go. Now, meet with a partner. If they have something on their note sheet that's different, you should add it to your note sheet as well. What do they believe Mr. Poole is thinking? Go. Let's see what I was thinking. I believe that Mr. Poole is thinking that Miss Jensen did it on purpose because she was laughing, that Miss Jensen wanted to hurt him because she did it on purpose, that Miss Jensen is a bad teacher because she is not being a good role model. Good role models don't knock into people on purpose. And that Miss Jensen is mad about the turtle soup jokes. Why else would she be upset with Mr. Poole? All right, fifth grade. Just as with any story, there are two sides to this story. So let me tell you the other side. Miss Jensen was hanging posters in her room before school. She got a text message from Mrs. Brandstetter asking her to come help carry some bags from her car downstairs up to the classroom. Miss Jensen knew Mrs. Brandstetter was in a rush because she was parked in the car loop and she needed to move her car quickly so the buses and parents could get in. She dashed out of her room and, bam, smacked right into Mr. Poole. Miss Jensen giggled a little because it was ironic that she happened to walk out of her room at the exact same moment Mr. Poole was walking by. All right, quick, on your note sheet, what was Miss Jensen thinking? Go. Now you're going to meet with a partner. If they have something on their note sheet that you do not have, I would add it so you're comparing your notes with your partner. Go. All right, let's see what I was thinking. I believe that Miss Jensen was thinking that Mr. Poole should slow down. Maybe if he wasn't walking so fast, she wouldn't have knocked into him. Mr. Poole should be modeling walking in the hallway for students. He was in such a hurry that he wasn't being a good role model. And Mr. Poole is being a crybaby. Oh my goodness, it was a complete accident. Miss Jensen was able to laugh it off. Why wasn't Mr. Poole? So, with both of these stories, the teachers agree that they were walking in the hallway, that they were hurrying to get stuff done, and that they knocked into each other. We see point of view here in the position of the narrator or speaker in relation to the story that he or she is telling. In these stories, we see an opinion, an attitude, or a judgment that Mr. Poole made about Miss Jensen and that Miss Jensen made about Mr. Poole. All right, 5th grade, let's try with a story that we all know. Rapunzel. While we're watching the first read aloud, you should be filling out the what happened part of your notes sheet for the first read aloud. Just to repeat, for this read aloud, you're filling out the first what happened section while the video is playing. All right, here we go.
Tangled. Rapunzel's story. Once upon a time, there was a kingdom ruled by a kind king and queen. They were happy until the queen became very sick. Right away, the king sent his guards to dig up a magical flower with healing powers. Unfortunately, the flower belonged to a wicked woman named Mother Gothel, who was furious to lose her precious flower. And so, when the king and queen had a baby, she stole the child away. Mother Gothel hid the girl, Rapunzel, in a tower. It turned out that her long hair had the same healing powers as the flower. Mother Gothel used Rapunzel's hair to stay young and told her she was her mother. Each year, on their lost daughter's birthday, the queen and king sent lanterns into the night sky. Rapunzel saw the floating lights from her tower and longed to see them up close. But Mother Gothel always said no. One day, Mother Gothel went away, and a stranger climbed into the tower. Rapunzel knocked him out with a frying pan and searched through his bag. Inside, she found a stolen crown. Curious, she tried it on. The stranger, Flynn Rider, was a thief on the run, but Rapunzel saw him as her chance to see the floating lights. She offered him a deal. If Flynn helped her, she would give him back the crown. Flynn did not want to go to the city. He was hiding from the Stabbington brothers, 2 thieves he had worked with, as well as the palace guards. But he could not say no. Reluctantly, Flynn climbed down the tower, while Rapunzel used her hair to lower herself to the ground. To Rapunzel, finally being in the outside world was like a dream come true. Rapunzel had never run through grass before, or climbed a tree, or sat in a field of flowers. Still, she felt nervous. Mother Gothel had always told her that the outside world was scary, and Mother Gothel wouldn't lie, would she? Flynn tried to scare Rapunzel into returning home. He took her to the scariest place he knew, the Snuggly Duckling, a tavern full of thugs. But when Rapunzel sang about her dream of seeing the lanterns, they all became friends. The thugs even showed Rapunzel and Flynn a secret way out of the tavern before the palace guards could catch them. As they fled, Flynn hurt his hand. Then Rapunzel put her hair around it, and his wound was healed. Flynn was amazed, so Rapunzel explained about her magical hair. "But once it's cut," she said, "it loses its power." Meanwhile, Mother Gothel had discovered that Rapunzel was gone and begun to search for her. The next morning was Rapunzel's birthday. Flynn led her to town, which was just as wonderful as the woods. She and Flynn danced and ate cake, and then they took a boat to watch the lanterns from the harbour. Twilight came, and glowing lanterns filled the sky. "I have something for you too," Rapunzel told Flynn gratefully. She handed him the crown, and Flynn knew what he had to do. Flynn went ashore and tried to give the crown to the Stabbington brothers, but the thieves knocked him out. Then they found Rapunzel and told her Flynn had traded the crown to them for her. "No!" Rapunzel cried. She tried to run away, but she couldn't. Suddenly, Mother Gothel rushed and saved Rapunzel from the thieves. Rapunzel didn't know that Mother Gothel had told the brothers to capture her. Mother Gothel took Rapunzel back to the tower, but Rapunzel kept thinking about all she had seen. Suddenly, all the pieces fell into place. "I'm the lost princess," she realized at last. Instantly, Mother Gothel stopped pretending to be nice. She tied Rapunzel up, and then, when Flynn came to try to save her, she attacked him. Flynn was hurt, and Rapunzel knew she could heal him with her hair. "I'll stay with you," she promised Mother Gothel. "Just let me save him." "Swear it," said Mother Gothel, and Rapunzel did. But Flynn refused to let Mother Gothel win. As soon as Rapunzel came near him, he sliced off her hair with a shard of glass. Quickly, it turned brown, and Mother Gothel began to grow older and older before their eyes. Soon, Mother Gothel was gone, but Flynn still wasn't healed, and Rapunzel no longer had her magic hair. A single tear fell from her face. An instant later, Flynn's eyes opened. The magic in her tear had saved his life. Overjoyed, Rapunzel and Flynn went to the palace, where Rapunzel was welcomed by her real parents, the King and Queen. They were overjoyed to have their darling daughter back after so many years. And Though Rapunzel's hair was no longer magical, she was still by far the most enchanting girl that Flynn Rider had ever met.
Fifth grade, now that we've watched the retelling of Rapunzel, you should be finishing up your note sheet on what happened during the story. Go. Now you're going to meet with a partner. What do they believe happened in the story Rapunzel? If they have something on their note sheet that you do not have, you should add it to your note sheet. Go. While I was watching this video, I took some notes on what I believe was happening in the story. You can feel free to add these things to your note sheet. What happened? The queen became sick, so the king sought a magical flower to save the queen. Mother Gothel stole baby Rapunzel and used her hair for its healing power. A stranger climbed into the tower, and Rapunzel asks Flynn to help her see the floating lights. Rapunzel enjoys her freedom and makes a lot of friends at the Snuggly Duckling. Rapunzel uses her healing powers to heal Flynn. They see the flying lanterns. Mother Gothel had told the Stabbington brothers to capture Rapunzel. Mother Gothel takes her back to the tower. Rapunzel realizes she is the lost princess. Flynn tries to save Rapunzel. Rapunzel promises to stay with Mother Gothel if she heals Flynn. Flynn cuts Rapunzel's hair. Flynn is healed with a magic tear. All right, fifth grade. Now we're going to analyze Rapunzel's point of view. How does Rapunzel view Mother Gothel? Take a minute by yourself on your note sheet. How does Rapunzel view Mother Gothel? Go. Now meet with a partner. How does your partner believe Rapunzel views Mother Gothel? Go. Let's see what I was thinking. I believe that Rapunzel sees Mother Gothel as greedy for keeping Rapunzel just for her powers. I believe that Rapunzel is angry that Mother Gothel kept her away from her real family. What are some other suggestions you had when you were thinking and analyzing point of view? Share with the class. All right. There is another side to almost every story. So let's see what Mother Gothel's side of the story is. While you're listening to the read aloud, you should be filling out the second what happened part of your note sheet. So while you're listening, you are filling out the what happened part of your note sheet. Here we go.
Really, Rapunzel needed a haircut. By Jessica Gunderson. Illustrated by Dennis Alonzo. Let me tell you, it's lonely being a witch. When folks find out what I am, they steer clear. I have no friends at all, not one. It's unfair, really. A sweet girl with beautiful hair once lived with me, and I used to have a fantastic garden. Neither the girl nor the plants cared one whit that I was a witch. My flowers bloomed bright and tall. My radishes were to die for. But sadly, I haven't seen the girl or my garden in a while. It all started when a neighbor tried to steal my radishes. Here's how it went. "My wife is going to have a baby," my neighbor stammered, "and she craves your radishes. She swears if she doesn't get them, she'll just die." "Okay," I said, "but what will you give me in return? I can get a pretty penny for these at the farmer's market, you know." "But I have no money, not a single dime," he whined. "Maybe I'll give you our baby. We can always have more, I guess." Of course, I agreed. A baby would be better than gold. It would cure my loneliness. When the time came, the man brought baby Rapunzel to me. I raised Rapunzel as my own daughter and gave her anything she wanted from my garden. Turnips, potatoes, berries, cucumbers. But do you know what her favorite food was? Radishes. The girl had good taste. All those vegetables helped Rapunzel's hair grow long and red. She sang sweet songs as she helped me tend the garden. The longer Rapunzel's hair grew, the more she loved it. She washed it and combed it and brushed it and braided it. And then she washed it again. You have no idea how much I spent on shampoo. One day, a group of neighbors gathered outside my garden. I heard them whispering, plotting, planning. This time, however, no one wanted to steal my radishes. Nope. They wanted to steal Rapunzel and use her hair for wigs. So I did what any mother would do. I locked the girl away in a tower. "Rapunzel, let down your hair," I would call, and she would lean out of the window and wrap her hair around a hook. Then I'd climb up. Every day without fail, I brought her vegetables from the garden. At first she seemed content, but one day she told me she was lonely. And if anyone knows how loneliness feels, it's me. "How can I help?" I asked. "Bring me every mirror you can find," Rapunzel said. "Then I can keep myself company." Hauling a load of mirrors to the tower wasn't my idea of fun, but I did it anyway. I spent a week gathering every mirror in the village. Then I lugged them one by one into the tower. Let me tell you, it was not an easy task for an old witch like me. "Thanks," Rapunzel said, "but I don't need the mirrors anymore. I met a handsome prince. He climbs up to visit me every day." "What?" I roared, my voice rattling the windows and shattering the mirrors. "He's going to steal you away!" I panicked. What could I do? How could I keep the prince away? In a blink, I grabbed Rapunzel's hair and chopped it off, clumps of it. Rapunzel wailed. I admit I felt a little bad. "It'll grow back," I comforted. "Short hair will be nice for the summer, cooler." But she would not stop crying. "Let's go home, dear," I said. "I'll make you a radish salad, okay?" I fastened her hair clippings to the hook, and we crawled down together. While Rapunzel chomped her salad, I returned to the tower and waited. "Rapunzel, let down your hair," the prince called. I lowered Rapunzel's hair, and the prince climbed up. When the prince saw me, his eyes widened. I gave him my most evil cackle. I'd meant only to scare him a little, but he leapt out of the window and landed on some thorny bushes below. The poor boy staggered about, clutching his eyes. I was going to climb down and help him, but he did a terrible thing. He reached for Rapunzel's hair and yanked it from the hook. Then he ran away. Since then, I've been trapped in this tower. I try to sing sweetly in hopes of rescue, but my voice is sour. I try to grow my hair long, but my split ends keep breaking off. Drat those mirrors for bringing me bad luck. A little bird told me Rapunzel and her prince got married. I'm sorry I missed the wedding. It sounded lovely. Do you know what the bride carried? A bouquet of radish roses.
All right, 5th grade, now that we've seen Mother Gothel's side of the story, we should be filling out the what happened side of our note sheet. So go ahead and fill that out by yourself. Go. Now meet with a partner. You might want to add anything they have on their note sheet to your note sheet. Go. All right, I was taking notes too as I watched this read aloud. You might want to add some of the things that I found onto your note sheet as well. I found that Mother Gothel was lonely. A neighbor tried to steal her radishes for his wife. The neighbor offered his baby as payment for the radishes. Mother Gothel gave Rapunzel everything she wanted. Rapunzel grew long hair from eating so many vegetables. A group of neighbors wanted to steal Rapunzel to use her hair for wigs, so Mother Gothel locked her in a tower to save her hair. Rapunzel became lonely, and Mother Gothel got her every mirror she could find. Rapunzel began seeing a prince. Mother Gothel got very upset because she was trying to protect her daughter. She cut her daughter's hair. Mother Gothel tried to surprise the prince, but he fell and yanked the hair down from the tower, trapping Mother Gothel. Now it's time to analyze Mother Gothel's point of view. How does Mother Gothel view Rapunzel? Take a minute by yourself to complete this question. Go. All right, now you're going to meet with a partner. How do they believe that Mother Gothel views Rapunzel? If they have something different, you might want to add it to your note sheet. Go. Let's see what I was thinking. I believe that Mother Gothel loves Rapunzel as her own daughter because she raised and protected her. I believe that Mother Gothel views Rapunzel as ungrateful for not listening to her when she meets a prince. All right, the last question on your note sheet asks you, who do you believe? Do you believe Rapunzel? Or do you believe Mother Gothel? And why do you agree with this point of view? Take a minute, you're just working by yourself. Who do you believe and why? Go. 5th grade, thank you so much for watching my point of view video. And as always, it has been a pleasure to present this week's Miss Jensen production.